Welcome to Recap Hub, your go-to channel for film summaries. Today, we have an exciting recap of a thrilling movie for you. Get ready to dive into the world of Ushio and Tora Episode 1, 2, and 3. This action-packed adventure will keep you on the edge of your seat from start to finish. So grab some popcorn, sit back, and let's recap the story of Ushio and Tora. At the beginning of the tale, we are introduced to Ushio and his father, a priest. His father imparts the ancient history of their village, sharing the legend of a 500-year-old temple that houses a revered spear, originally wielded by a renowned yokai hunter. Ushio, however, remains skeptical about the existence of such invisible monsters, known as yokai. This skepticism irks his father, who is preparing for a journey. On the day of his father's departure, he entrusts Ushio with the responsibility of safeguarding the temple and retrieving a specific book from the temple's warehouse. Sometime later, Ushio embarks on the task and, as he searches the warehouse, he stumbles upon a concealed door. Intrigued, he attempts to open it, but his curiosity leads to an accidental fall. As Ushio rises, he discovers a yokai lurking behind him, sending shivers down his spine. To his astonishment, the yokai is impaled with a spear, one that only humans can remove. This spear is the very same legendary weapon his father had spoken of. The yokai beseeches Ushio to free him by removing the spear, promising freedom in return. Ushio inquires about the yokai's intentions once released, to which the yokai chillingly confesses a desire to consume Ushio and transform the area into a nightmarish realm, as it had done centuries ago. Frightened by this revelation, Ushio adamantly refuses to release the yokai, fearing the potential danger it poses to humanity. Meanwhile, Ushio attends school where he encounters his friend Inoue and classmate Nakamura. Ushio realizes he had forgotten to bring Nakamura's notebook and contemplates the yokai's presence during his classes. Despite being an adept football player, Ushio's true passion lies in drawing. Upon returning home, his thoughts continue to revolve around the yokai and the consequences of his decision. As Nakamura and Inoue arrive to retrieve her notebook, Ushio's world takes an eerie turn. He begins to perceive small, unseen creatures all around him. Inoue and Nakamura, however, remain oblivious to these apparitions. Puzzled and concerned, Ushio turns to the yokai for an explanation. The yokai bursts into laughter, explaining that over the course of 500 years, its aura had accumulated in the area. Ushio's actions had stirred this dormant energy, attracting these minor yokai. The yokai informs Ushio that due to their contact, he now possesses the ability to see them. Just as they converse, Nakamura and Inoue scream in terror. Fearing for his friend's safety, Ushio agrees to the yokai's proposal for assistance. He removes the beast's spear from the yokai's body. However, the freed yokai immediately turns on them, revealing its intention to consume Ushio and his friends. Ushio, in a fit of anger, thrusts the spear into the ground, causing it to connect with his own soul energy. The yokai is astounded by this turn of events, as Ushio now resembles the yokai hunters of old, who vanquished it 500 years ago. Fearing the consequences, the yokai attempts to flee but is persuaded to honor its promise. Meanwhile, the lesser yokai have surrounded Nakamura and Inoue, merging into a more formidable entity. Ushio, in partnership with the yokai, attacks and eliminates the minor yokai, realizing that the beast's spear possesses the ability to communicate with him. It functions by converting a human soul into energy, with its sole purpose being the hunting of yokai. With the threat neutralized, the yokai expresses its intention to depart. However, Ushio refuses to let it go, understanding that the residual aura might attract more monsters. The yokai, though initially angered, eventually relents due to the altered circumstances. Despite Ushio's concerns, the yokai, now named Tora, remained in Ushio's presence, hidden from the view of Nakamura and Inoue. Ushio wrestled with thoughts of Tora's intent to consume him, while Tora contemplated its opportunity to devour Ushio when the time came. The tension between them simmered beneath the surface. One day, while Tora watched television, it mistook a samurai on the screen for a real threat and attacked the TV, much to Ushio's dismay. This incident deepened Ushio's resolve to rid himself of Tora. The following day, Tora accompanied Ushio to school, but remained invisible to everyone else. A football came their way, and Tora swiftly obliterated it, leaving the onlookers astounded. An argument ensued between Ushio and Tora, as Tora revealed that it refrained from harming Ushio due to the beast's spear being in his hands, but promised to consume him when the opportunity arose. Ushio, in turn, contemplated the idea of ending Tora's existence. Just then, Nakamura and Inoue arrived, and the previous day's incident appeared to them as a dream. Nakamura, Inoue, and some other students ventured into the old school building to retrieve the book. They encountered a peculiar stone statue, and Nakamura examined it closely. Suddenly, the statue's eyes ignited with an eerie light. Despite this, no one paid much attention to the occurrence, and they continued collecting books. Meanwhile, inside the classroom, a mysterious energy emanated from the beast's spear. Ushio sensed that it was trying to communicate something. Just as he pondered its message, an explosion rocked the vicinity near the old building. Rushing to the scene, Ushio discovered a student undergoing a terrifying transformation into stone. Tora explained that this was the work of the Rock Eater, and Ushio's involvement was just beginning. Despite Ushio's frantic search for Nakamura and Inoue, they remained nowhere to be found. Soon, the police arrived, and news of the disappearance of the 5 students began to spread. Most believed that a kidnapper was responsible for their absence, but Ushio was convinced that a monstrous entity was involved. He turned to Tora for assistance, but Tora, still reluctant to become entangled in Ushio's affairs, once again threatened to end his life. This threat only served to enrage Ushio further. A confrontation erupted between Ushio and Tora, but the power of the beast's spear prevented Tora from harming Ushio. Eventually, Tora relented and decided to divulge information about the Rock Eater. He revealed that Rock Eaters were formidable creatures that imprisoned humans within a barrier, transforming them into stone and subsequently consuming them. Defeating these entities was no simple task. Rock Eater had taken Nakamura and Inoue inside its barrier, rendering them invisible even to the police. In an attempt to frighten them, Rock Eater attacked Nakamura, turning her into stone. Ushio was determined to confront and defeat Rock Eater. He shattered the barrier using the beast's spear and engaged in a fierce battle with the creature. However, in the heat of the battle, the beast's spear was knocked from Ushio's grasp. In the midst of this dire situation, Ushio witnessed Nakamura and the other students being petrified by Rock Eater. Tora, though initially reluctant, refused to help Ushio. With Ushio captured by Rock Eater and the barrier closing in, Tora had no choice but to exit. Without the beast's spear, Ushio was helpless. Desperate for assistance, Ushio implored Tora to rescue Nakamura and Inoue. This selfless act of concern for others left Tora in shock. As the Rock Eater's threat loomed, the situation appeared increasingly dire. In the face of Rock Eater's impending attack, Tora decided to rescue Nakamura and Inoue from the barrier. Ushio, however, remained trapped and defiantly proclaimed that Tora could never understand his selflessness. As Rock Eater moved to capture Ushio, Tora remembered that Ushio was his target and intervened to stop Rock Eater. In a surprising twist, Rock Eater managed to ensnare Tora as well. Ushio, determined to free himself, focused on the beast's spear. Miraculously, the spear began to levitate on its own, breaking him free from Rock Eater's clutches. Ushio then attempted to prevent the barrier from closing with the assistance of the spear, while Tora unleashed his lightning power to combat Rock Eater. Tora emerged from the fray with Ushio, leaving everyone astounded. However, Rock Eater transformed into a formidable centipede demon and prepared to launch another attack. Tora, in a moment of desperation, instructed Ushio to apply his saliva to the spear and target the creature's left eye. Ushio followed Tora's guidance, executing the attack successfully. The sight of this astonishing battle left onlookers in awe. With Ushio's courage and determination, all the students were rescued, and Rock Eater was defeated. News of the incident quickly spread far and wide, and Tora was elated to see himself on television. The following day, Ushio's father returned and began recounting a tale of a past conflict between a monster and a hunter that lasted for 4 days. Eventually, the hunter used the beast's spear to defeat the monster, sealing it in one location. The hunter later renounced violence and became a monk, giving rise to the Ayatsuki bloodline. Ushio's father warned him not to open any underground doors, unaware that Ushio had already released the monster. It was at that moment that he spotted the beast's spear in his son's possession. Alarmed by the sight of the beast's spear in Ushio's hand, his father immediately rushes to inspect the warehouse. To his shock, he finds the open basement door. Meanwhile, Ushio visits a collection of paintings by an artist named Hanyu. Among the artworks, he encounters an unusual portrait of a girl, intended for Hanyu's daughter, Reiko. Tora gazes at this painting with an eerie intensity, asserting that the artist who created it has become a curse upon humanity, dubbing him a demon. Back at school, Ushio endures a severe beating from Kin-chan, while Tora watches with a sense of amusement. A girl arrives and offers herself as a sacrifice to spare Ushio's life. Ushio recognizes her as Reiko and remembers Hanyu's painting. However, other students talk of Reiko's 4 suicide attempts, casting a shadow over the situation. Ushio approaches Reiko, requesting her to pose for his painting. She declines, warning him that following her will lead to death. Ushio doesn't take her words to heart. Suddenly, a truck veers towards him, but he manages to save himself with the help of the beast spear. At the same time, Tora observes an evil spirit departing from the scene. Later, we see Reiko expressing her pleas to her father to cease his actions. Ushio turns to Nakamura, inquiring if anything unusual occurred involving Reiko. Nakamura reveals that when Reiko joined their school, she remained aloof, forbidding boys from approaching her. Those who defied her warnings died mysteriously in accidents. Additionally, Reiko made several suicide attempts, yet inexplicably survived each one. She also issued ominous warnings to anyone who approached her. After learning of Reiko's tragic circumstances, Ushio is left in shock. On his way home, Kin-chan stops him and advises him to stay away from Reiko. Ushio inquires why Reiko lives alone, and Kin-chan reveals that Reiko's mother ran away with someone, betraying her father, Hanyu. This betrayal had a profound impact on Hanyu, and Reiko began to feel a deep sadness. Eventually, Hanyu took his own life while working on a painting, and strange incidents began to plague Reiko from that point onward. In the following scene, Hanyu's demon emerges from the painting, declaring that Reiko belongs to him, and he won't allow anyone near her. The next day, the school holds a dance practice for an upcoming festival, but Reiko remains at a distance, watching. Ushio invites her to dance, and though Reiko initially refuses, Ushio persuades her to join him. However, a tornado suddenly appears, and Hanyu's demon attacks Ushio. Reiko pleads with the demon to stop, leading Ushio to realize the source of the problem. Hanyu attempts to attack Ushio, but Tora steps in, warning him not to harm his food. Tora uses his lightning power to confront Hanyu, who retreats. Kin-chan comprehends the situation, realizing it is linked to Reiko. Witnessing the events unfold, Reiko contemplates suicide, and Ushio uses the beast spear, along with Kin-chan, to prevent her from falling. Hanyu arrives to rescue her, revealing his reluctance to see Reiko with others. Reiko, torn between Kin-chan and Hanyu, ultimately requests that Kin-chan let her go. Kin-chan, however, remains determined to support her in her difficult times. As Reiko comes upstairs with Kin-chan, Hanyu believes she has betrayed him. He takes Reiko to his painting, and Ushio attempts to attack him with the beast spear, but it has no effect. Tora informs Ushio that the human soul resides at the base of the painting, and to defeat the demon, he must target that area. Hanyu grabs Ushio and starts pulling him into his painting, but Tora refuses to intervene since Ushio didn't ask for his help. Tora's reluctance angers him because he desired to consume Ushio himself. However, Tora eventually decides to save everyone and instructs Ushio to stab the painting. Just as Ushio is about to do so, Reiko steps in to save her father, and the spear pierces her body as well. Ushio and Kin-chan are distraught, but Tora reveals that the beast spear was created to slay monsters, and Reiko will remain unharmed. Hanyu's painting is destroyed, and his soul encourages Reiko to seek her own happiness before fading away. As a result, Reiko's painting becomes vibrant, and she finally begins to smile. Kin-chan remains unaware of Ushio and Tora's true identities. With this, the episode concludes. If you wish to hear more about the next part, please let me know in the comments, subscribe to this channel, and enable notifications.